Because we do have Paul here today. We want to talk to him a little bit more. So we're going to take a minute while you guys are voting. We're going to break down a lot of this breaking news topics and get into the nitty gritty of it all. And I'm so excited to have everybody here as always. It's President's Day. It's the 300th episode. We're going to have a fantastic time. And so let's go to our panel right here. Let's talk about some quick takes, everybody. So right now I'm going to go over to Paul here. We're going to talk about some of this because I know like you did the whole faculty breakdown, right, Paul? You love the movie. So a reboot. What do you think about this reboot? Is this something that can actually work, or do you think they're barking up the wrong tree?
I think it wasn't a massive success. So they definitely have, it wasn't blown up. The cast is obviously incredible in that film, but it doesn't necessarily have that mass appeal. That wouldn't necessarily mean that a remake's going to be up next to it. I would say something like, don't remake Back to the Future because it's such a widely known film. It just depends how they I think they'll probably connect it to social media and stuff and phones and be like, modern day schools, all the kids are on their phones, they're not paying attention to the alien invasion that's going on around them. So there are interesting themes I think they could do with it. Whether they do it or not, we'll see. But these Invasion of the Body Snatcher type films, they constantly get remade because they're just relevant. They're just subject matter is always relevant, and you'll see, the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers and the remake, and then the 90s remake, and then there was one in the 2000s. So you have these archetypes, and I can just see it. I think it'll be good. Kids, every generation needs a body snatcher-esque. Right. Kind of talk about them. So yeah, I think it's been long enough since the last one that it could be good, but they could mess it up. But if they do mess it up, it's not necessarily a massive IP where I think people are going to be very angry about it.
I don't think so either, but you got like Jack Quaid in there too, and Jack Quaid's been really popular. He was on Lower Decks, of course, The Boys, of course, 100%, and his star rating just going up and up and up, I think, and so that might lure in a new audience to this. Could it be a thing where people go back? Because I bet there's a lot of people like Gen Z that haven't actually seen this before, So do you think this could like bring those DVD sales, or probably digital these days, up because of Jack Quaid and this reboot potentially happening?
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, we actually put together the breakdown before it even got announced. Yeah, so I was quite shocked because I was like, we've timed this really well. Jack Quaid, he also seems to have quite a level of quality to him. Like, he doesn't just sign on to stuff for the sake of signing on to it. Even Companion, all his work's really good. So I don't think he would have signed on without, reading the script and appreciating it.
You would think so, right? Daredevil. Yeah. We got to talk about Daredevil fast. Well, you're here. We got to talk about Daredevil, right? I'm so excited about this. The cast coming back, the massive reshoots to get them in. Are you excited more than ever because they got a new showrunner and did this, and you're excited to see where they go with it, or are you still hesitant a little bit?
Yeah, I'm still a bit hesitant, to be honest. I know that some of that original series that they shot is still in there. I don't know. Disney Plus is always so hit and miss for me. So I'm a bit worried about it. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping for the best, but yeah, Disney Plus is always kind of up and down in my eyes.
I always say about here too. I don't want to trash Disney. The mouse, he'll always come after you if you're not careful. You got to be careful. Again, that Millennium Falcon and land smack down in the UK and come after you maybe too. I don't want that to happen to you. But I do think that you got to be careful. They're doing a lot of these, rewrites and these reboots, and they also do a lot of reshoots on these too, which we always talk about in the show. We'll talk about that for Brave New World. I can't wait to talk about that too. But a lot of stuff with that, I really want to be good. D'Onofrio was so good. I worked with him on SAG committees before. He's such a fantastic human being. I just want this to succeed for him too. I think Gomer Pyle to this, you know what I mean? It's like this guy can't stop. He can't stop. But the big thing I want to ask you about this, though, Paul, is Cavill. I need to talk to you about Cavill. Yeah. So you're big into James Bond. I love what you've been doing with your series about all the different Bond movies. It's fantastic. First of all, how long do those videos take? And secondly, is Cavill your Bond?
So they take about a month to do because I've got to read the book, and then we're also doing quite high production values. I'll say high production values.
I love it. I love you in the suit. I love you with the car. Yeah. I love that stuff. It's great.
Yeah, it just takes so long to put together. Even getting replica suits of what was used in the movie, it sounds like it should be easy, but you've got to go through so many different things and pick out the right suits that can be delivered in the right time. And it's all just complicated. It's kind of like running an actual production instead of just sitting in my room doing stuff. But I've been enjoying it. In terms of Cavill, he was actually my next in line choice. I've tweeted that a couple of times.
There we go.
Spoke with so many people about it. But when I saw the audition, I was like, oh, I can totally see why he didn't get it. Yeah, they made the right choice with Daniel Craig. Completely, yeah. I do think he's grown now. My only worry would be what they tend to do when they cast a Bond actor is they get someone in who's quite low budget. Like, they're not going to charge a massive fee to be James Bond, whereas Cavill has quite a high salary at the moment. A lot of people say he's too old for it, but I mean, I don't think he is at all. If you look at when Brosnan started, Roger Moore, they were all in their mid-40s, so it's doable. But
he's 40.
I think the guy.
He's 40.
I think if they don't, I mean, Man from U.N.C.L.'s incredible. I think he's brilliant in that, and I think if they don't cast him as Bond, then it's going to be like one of the big cast misses of all time, up there with Hayley Atwell as Tomb Raider and stuff like that. Nathan Fillion as Nathan Drake and stuff, where it's like you had the perfect actor to play that role and you missed it.
And the people wanted it too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think this is his time. I really do. I'm excited about because I know you're the person that's really been delving into this world. So I don't have as much knowledge as you do in the James Bond world. And I just want to know that because I know a lot of people are talking about it. They can't decide. There was the whole about having craving be James Bond at one point. Aaron Taylor Johnson, and I was like, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I haven't even seen Craven yet, to be honest. I'm just kind of
avoid anything.
Nosferatu, he was kind of a bit weird in that he kind of came across like he was in a stage play where everyone else was in a film, and it was So I don't think they'll go with Aaron Taylor Johnson. I think just the way I think Craven might have lost it for him. I mean, look at Cavill there. That is James Bond. That if you show that picture to a kid, they'll just say that's James Bond.
That's James Bond. He looks like it perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
he's just got that like look and the vibe. You know, he's a very demure, like he just has everything that you like would assume of a Bond character. You know what I mean? Like whenever I have met him, his presence, he just has it. He's got the whole shtick. It's like I think he'd be brilliant. I do. I think he'd be a brilliant Bond.
Do you want to ask Paul anything, Angela?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, Paul, what could I ask you? Just this man of knowledge. Okay, so here's the thing. So like, MCU's box office curse that's been going on. Could you fix how would you fix it in one move? Like if you were with what's kind of been going on.
Shows.
What?
Yeah, I would cancel all the Disney Plus shows. I would do that with Star Wars as well. Just anything on Disney Plus, just get rid of it. Just make these films events and just stop turning them into streaming content.
Right. So we don't need more mutants. Do we need fewer multiverses?
I think you can do it in a good way.
Like Robert Downey Jr., like a deep fake. Deep fake is way back.
Yeah, deep fake is way. Yeah, exactly. I think they need to wrap up the multiverse thing as quickly as possible, which I think they're doing. But I would probably avoid. I think just when you turn stuff into a streaming show, and this kind of ties back into the James Bond thing that I like that they've always done with James Bond, is that they've never cheapened the character. And even when Amazon bought him, it wasn't like, oh, we have to announce 10 streaming shows. It's always been, no, we'll make one of these films every couple of years, we'll make it an event. And it kind of feels like Marvel and Star Wars especially has just completely lost that. If you think back to how Star Wars was, it was like every generation would have their own Star Wars trilogy, and now it's just a streaming show that no one's that interested in.
Yeah, it starts to get confusing, to be honest. I mean, I love Star Wars stuff, not to veer off track, but like love it.
I still love Star Wars.
I start like I'll watch all of it, but then I'll go back and be like, okay, no, we're now 50,000 years, or we're back, or we're forward, or where are we? You know what I mean? It's just kind of a way to, it's a way to tap in, monetize, what has already been, where you can kind of add on to a story and keep it going as, a sequel, prequel, like all that, but it starts to get a bit like dilute, you know what I mean? It starts to become like a hodgepodge in a way too of like stuff. So
I think it just becomes content. There's
right.
It's just content rather than Christopher Nolan.
It's never the right way.
Yeah, exactly. Christopher Nolan, no matter what he puts out, it will never be described as content because he's putting his all into it and making it like as good as it can be. Whereas a lot of this stuff feels like they're just announcing it for the sake of, we have a spin-off character who, like Agatha is a good example. It's kind of WandaVision. They had that hit song in that, and it's like, well, we have to make a Disney Plus show about this. It's like,
I felt the same way about Echo too. I was like, I didn't need Echo. I understand what they're trying to do with it. Yeah, I don't know. I thought the MCU's downfall was the interconnectedness of everything. Like the fact that you had to watch everything to know, that's Bleepo from Blorp because of X season. Yeah, it just got nutty and it's too much. It was fatigue for sure. Yeah. I don't know. I agree with that.
I think Secret Wars is going to be glup shito hitherto undreamt of.
I mean, some of the stuff I hear about Secret Wars has got me actually kind of encouraged, especially if the rumor that everything that comes out in that time frame is treated like a one-off Elseworldy kind of adventure.
Battle World.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, I've always said, and I think this also kind of hurt the What If show on Disney. It's just, you've got stories, you've got characters, you need to use it and not pigeonhole yourself to kind of relate to what the movies are doing, whatever, right? Like just allow it to be its own thing and appreciate it for that instead of trying to make every fucking thing in their grandmother, touch Spider-Man inappropriately. I don't know why I went that way, but
there you go.
Make that a show. Make it a show.
Don't do that to Spider-Man. Tom Holland's a precious boy.
Come home again. That's what it's called. Come home again.
I wonder, Brian, can I ask Paul a question?
Get in there, Sean. What do you got? Get in there.
I'm not trying to hit a sore subject here, but this household, my wife and I are big Screen Crush people. We love Screen Crush. I'm sorry. Oh shit. Oh, I blew it. Oh, you canceled him.
He's gone.
No, I unfortunately we didn't make it to the live show. I guess I love the banter. I love the back and forth. I love the fact that it's all in jest. It's all in fun and support of you guys. How did that happen? How often, I guess, are you trying to collaborate? I think we're in a little bit of a golden age when it comes to content talking about comics and pop culture and superheroes. Big fan of Owen Loves Comics, Bullets and Blockbusters has done some really great breakdowns recently. I guess what's that like? It's someone, obviously you've been involved in this community for a long time. And do you have meetings every month? Do you have collaborations that you want to do? Like, how did that whole you and Screen Crush, kind of getting at to each other? How did that really develop?
I think he shouted me out on one of the boys' breakdowns, and I was like, "Oh, that's really nice." So I just reached out to him, but I text him all the time, just absolute shit, like constantly. Just he'll read it and not reply all the time. I'm just getting all my stuff up now. I don't know how political this show is, but I've often said how great RFK dresses and that I wear suits like him. And I said, no one notices it, Ryan. Why is that? Is it because people focus too much on his voice and they just don't pay attention to what he's wearing? And he'll read it and not reply. And it's like, well, why? Why, Ryan? What's the beef? But now we talk about once a day. I probably shouldn't have said any of that, but
I love the fact that last month you posted a video just kind of saying, here's what's going on. I'm getting a lot of questions, setting the record straight. I really appreciate just the willingness.
That was great.
Be open and reach out to your audience and talk to them on that level. I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah, I know you were saying that you were getting a lot of backlash too from that as well about changing the format of your videos. But I love seeing you on camera, man. I mean, I think it makes sense too. It's like it's that intercutting, as you were saying before. We are dealing with the AI world, and everyone's worried about is this my voice? Is this actually a person? Whatever. And I think the face is the moneymaker, and I think you got a good face, man. I think you should be on camera.
Thank you. Yeah, it cost me a lot of money to get this all done.
Dude, I gotta say, with all the lawsuits and stuff you've been going through too, I can't even imagine the headaches with all that as well. You're probably just a layer on retainer now, probably, right?
No, I just kind of wing it. I'll just challenge people. I'm like, yeah, you want to go to court with me? Are you sure? I live in England. Lawyers, yeah.
You're from Newcastle, man. You got grit, Paul. You got to ant it up.
Yeah, I think suing's more of an American thing as well. It's kind of like, I think as soon as they realize they have to come to England, it's like
they don't want it.
Yeah, they're like, you have to come to America, and it's like, I'm not. So go ahead with your lawsuit. I'm never going.
That's awesome. I gotta ask you one more thing before we get our winner of hot takes, and that's this: where did every time? When did that come from? Like, where did that happen?
I don't even know. I think I just made it up on the day. Oh, you might have noticed I just tend to just say anything that pops into my head, and then one day, if it was from God or some higher power, it just told me.
George Washington, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
hey.
Spirit realm. Yeah. I wonder if George is out there watching the videos and thinking, "Oh, I'm glad people are still dressing up as me." You know what I mean?
I hope so. Kind of a crazy man. Let's just be honest.
Are you trying to be the next Bond, Paul? Let's just be honest, all right?
I hope so. Yeah, I'm trying to be. Yeah,
I'll get yourself in there.
He's got some great Bond pictures out there, everybody. I love him so much. You in the car? It's great. I'm like,
I'll get that car and be the week. I'll take a spin in it. I'll cruise in it. I'll let you know when I'm in the UK, and we'll just make it happen, okay?
Yeah, that just kind of started off as, I can make this a business expense, and I've always wanted it. So we're reviewing all the James Bond films. Yeah,
I'd like to write off that expense.
Right.
Yeah.
Before we move on, GR has one question for you. That's it. He's like, I got one question for this man. GR, take it away.
So, Paul, are you a Meghan Markle fan?
Oh, Lord.
No, like, don't have a problem.
Welcome to the club, Paul.
Oh shit. Yeah.
GR is always talking about Meghan Markle. He's like, I just got to ask him. Great.
I want to brunch with her.
Okay.
Great having you here,
Paul.
Yeah.
Great having you here, Paul. Happy to have you here.
Yo, player, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pepestar needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.